Hello? Hello, hello? Hello? What is this? I already did. Sure, yeah, no, no, no. What the? There he is, Mom. All right. Oh, all right. Mom, can you hear me?
I can hear you fine. Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay, here we go.
All right.
Um, all right. Afternoon, everybody. This is the Lakers in five. Did Shannon Sharp jinx the Lakers? Hey, Mrs. Corley, I need to ask you, do you believe that?
No, I don't. I don't believe it was a jinx. I just believe that the Lakers don't have good interior, meaning they don't have a rim protector or anyone in the middle that is strong enough to defend on the other side of the Timberwolves. Um, our offense is okay. I know the game now is about scoring these threes, but I think they need, when you're up by 10 in the fourth quarter, it's okay to drive a little bit more to keep the lead, to keep that pressure on. I just felt like they missed opportunities. Three of the games, I think we had a chance to win, and we blew it with just doing things that, errors that shouldn't have happened. I also believe in the game before this last one that he should have rested his players when they were up 10, at least give them a couple of minutes. And who knows, they could have maybe, the ones who are coming in could have maybe stretched the lead, but they were never had the relievers never had the opportunity to do so. So, that's my thing. Shannon Sharp, I don't, I'm not a big thrill about, a team winning in five, or predicting anything. Um, I just know that our interior, we need to work on. It is very important the way the system is for the Lakers to have a good interior or a center that can protect that rim. Plus, we didn't have, Gobert went crazy the last game on us. So that right there just shows you the evidence of what happened.
Okay, because I looked at it like how Shannon Sharp said in five, right? He said
Right.
it in five, but Luca, they said he got sick, and then LeBron got hurt, so that was a big factor of a jinx to me, but I might be wrong. So, but yeah, I think Shannon Sharp definitely tried to jinx the Lakers, man. I think it was a
Yeah.
jinx,
Yeah.
and
I don't believe in jinx. I just believe in, you know, Lakers, they have their own destiny, meaning that but of course JJ Redick is his first year. He has a lot to learn, and I just believe that he made some mistakes as well. It ain't all on the players; it's on the coaching too. And this is his first year, so I give him pass. At least he got them better than where they usually stand, in the play-in. So I have to at least give JJ Redick some credit of how he got them there. But the execution without without a big, it really, playing small ball is okay if you're used to playing it. But Lakers are not never really played small ball like that when they had AD. So you were asking the team to do something totally different than what they're used to, and to quickly adapt to that type of style within months when Luca came. And so, I'm just making my point of view. Um, the offense I'm not too worried about. It's the defense. I know Luca and AR are not known for good defense, but if you double down together, that probably would have helped a little bit, knowing you have some weaknesses in your interior. But they never did that. So they had the second game, they did very well. I'm not sure why they went away from it. I think they should have, played more, maybe zone with them to,
Facts.
you know, so that would have kept some of them out of the paint. But then, that's what I saw. But Shannon Sharp, like I said, I don't believe it's Shannon Sharp that made the error. I just believe that, it's coaching mixed in with, their interior. So that's just what I believe.
All right. I wanted to I wanted to ask you, why did JJ? Oh, and let me wait. Hold on. Before we get to JJ, um, let me change this again. Are we done with Shannon Sharp? So let me remove it, and then we'll put this. No wait. Oh yeah, right here. Okay. Oh, you right there, mom.
Hmm.
So I got this one now. So now, okay, yep. Okay, now moving forward, mom.
Hmm.
So now we got JJ, we got LeBron, and we have Luca.
Hmm.
So what is next for JJ as a coach? You think he should have played the 7 footers that we had on the bench so we could guarded Rudy Gobert at the
Hmm.
last game, Mom? Yes or no? And I'll just go ahead and say your opinion.
Okay. Lynn is not he's 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 not what we're looking for as far as a center. He's not he's not skilled, or his footwork is. Gobert would have just ate him up. Okay, I'm just gonna be
Okay.
honest. Hayes is small. He's not really, I consider, as a true center. But I know what they want to do, but they're unable to do it because um the size in the middle. So that kind of hurt us there. The other center, I'm not sure if, because the only other center I think we have is Woods, but I think he was out for the
Yeah, for the whole
season.
season. Yeah.
So he wouldn't have been ready for the playoffs. So they really didn't have a choice. They really needed a center ready to play. And when they rescinded off the center they were going to get before the playoffs, that's something they chose to do. This is what you're left with. So I'm not saying Hayes is a bad center. It just doesn't, the situation of how the way they want to play just didn't fit with the Timberwolves. Hayes had, scored a lot in the middle, but when you have a true center that plays center like Gobert, then that kind of changes the way that you have to play, at that point, because he's a rim protector, and that's what he did in the last game. So that's what they needed, to
Facts.
look at. But if they were going to play a center, it wouldn't have been Lynn. Lynn is not that guy.
Yeah.
He's
And
not
why
fitting
you
what they want to do. And
what
Wood, like
was
I
the
said, and Woods is out.
situation with Jackson Hayes though? He's 7 foot, mom, and he's our energy
Foul
guy.
trouble.
So, huh?
Real simple. He stays in foul trouble. He can't
Oh, okay.
he can't stay defensively. He's getting out beaten by LeBear, which he shouldn't. He's much younger, so he should have more flexibility. So that's something they might need to work on with Hayes. But he's he stays in foul trouble too much. He gives up too many fouls in the middle when they drive.
Yeah, okay. So,
Hmm.
going forward, next for the Lakers, what about LeBron? What do you think his future is, mom, on the
I
Lakers
don't
team?
know what his future is. I I think he's gonna stay one more year. That's just my thought process. I don't. And then again, he could retire. People retire any time of the day, but I think he still loves the game, and I think he wants to try at least one more time to try to get that fifth ring before he retires. But that's just what I see of him. I know he was very upset because they were asking him some questions that didn't make any sense. But
Yeah.
you know, remember Luca just came. We had a lot of changes going on, and so once because they can work on this summer of getting them some true centers. Like I still would keep Hayes because Hayes does play his position pretty good when
Uh,
certain situations. You know what I mean? But they need a true rim protector. Like they need a starter. I wouldn't put Hayes as a starter. I would take him off the bench, but he's not a starter. But they need a true rim protector. Luca wants somebody who he can lob that ball up to, and that's what they need to be looking for this summer. LeBron, I believe he's going to pick his spots like he did this year. AR, I can only see improvements with him, him going forward. So once they get those three really work, we should see it better for this year. We got Luca at the break, which does in 30 games doesn't give you enough time to, figure out. And then again, no true center. So, everything happened so fast. And then Luca got sick. But he shouldn't
yeah,
be the only one scoring over 30 points a game either. We should have LeBron and AR should be at 20 at least or 25 a night. So that's the way I look at it. But it's all good. I'm not uh worried about it. I figured this was a trial run for us. We have no excuses next year.
that's facts. That's
Hmm.
facts. And then Luca, mom, what you thought about his performance and what does he need to sell for the Lakers next year? What would you say?
Well, I think with Luca, I think he's the goods, but they need to make sure that Luca has people around him that can complement what he does. Like, you know, Luca has the ball in his hands. They just have to be more ready. Like I said, I don't. I think with JJ's first year, he did well. I know people are talking about, oh yeah, we're contenders now but the thing is, we never had interior. You have your point guard, your off guards, and then you have your fours, but you never had a true five, and that's what I think what happened as far as the interior goes. You had no rim protection, and so that and then everybody else it has to all five had to go in there and you work hard at the defensive end, then sometimes it really affects your offensive end. And I think
Okay.
it did too, because then mentally you do this for 4 quarters. After a while, it tears you down, and then mentally it tears you down as well, because you're so focused on your defense, then you kind of lose your prospect on your offensive side.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
That sounds good. So are you going with because you know we have a free agent coach in the right now. You think are you giving JJ another year to prove himself, or would you have a possibility to go get Mike Malone from Denver? Because he's a free agent championship coach, mom. I mean, Miss Corley.
I-
Um,
I-
is it a yes or a no for you, mom?
It's
I
I'm
mean,
good. I mean, if they want to give JJ another chance, I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't thrilled at first because I thought we needed more experience, but I think JJ will be fine. He just maybe needs more experience, assistant coaches that might have a better scheme. But that's about it. I would stick with JJ. I like JJ. I like JJ
oh,
Reddick. I like the way he looks at things. But I think they're gonna. I think they're gonna sign him to a longer, because I think he can. He seems to know how to bring things out of people, out of the players, um, than the
okay,
previous coaches did. Like, they'll try them, and then if they didn't like it, then they wouldn't. They didn't make the effort. I'm not saying that the playoffs they didn't make the effort. I just think this was just too much to bear, trying to do for everybody to try to play this interior. I think
yeah,
that was the issue. It was just too much of everyone play defense and then try to go on the other side and drum up some points on the offensive side. And if they're not hitting well, then we're falling. You see what I'm saying? So we
yeah,
we we have to get that fixed for us to go further in the West, because the West is a tough, competitive. Uh, the Western side is always competitive. You got to have everything in place. I hate to say it. Oklahoma got bigs. They can play big, small. They have versatile. Uh,
yeah.
they have two that plays the fours, and then they have one in the middle. I mean, that makes a difference when you're playing interior. And then you know, with the small ball, you have to play more zone. And I just didn't think we played enough zone on Timberwolves. Kind of let them
Okay.
do what they wanted to do. Uh, we let some of those players like Ant Man and uh, what's his name? I can't think of his name right now. They took advantage of us in the
Oh,
middle.
Reed,
Huh? No, not Reed. What's the other one? Can't think of
Mike
his name.
Conley.
Nope.
Oh, you talking about
He used to play for New York. He used to play
oh
with us.
his name is the
Who?
redhead guy. I know what you're talking about.
Randall. Yeah, Randall.
Oh, Randall.
Yeah, he took advantage of us being small in the middle. And when your opponents know where your weakness is, and they continue to pound at it, then that's a problem. And there was no adjustment there, because he kept going in the middle. I think we should have played a high pick and roll. They didn't play. They didn't hardly ever play pick and roll. That would alleviate some of it.
And
Take it
LeBron
out
is
of
pretty.
Randall's hand. Make the other people beat you. You letting Ant Man and Randall beat you. You know, but you never changed up in none of those games. So that's something JJ is gonna have to work on when it comes to, maybe, I believe in high pick and rolls every now and then. You have to show him something different, surprise him.
Yep.
But he never did change anything. It kind of stayed the same, except the second game, which they did play a better defense. But I would get him on the corners. I mean, it works. You don't have to do it all the time, but it works. So, but
So
that's
okay,
just
go
what
ahead.
look, that's what I just see.
All right, Mrs. Corley, what about I wanted to know about what is the not adjustments, but what is the do the legs have to get bigger, right? Forward and the center, right?
I just think, I mean, you can still have a small ball with some of the players if you're going to keep them, but you need to have a balance, especially in the West. You want to have a balance. I know if you need to play small ball, you can play small ball because you'll have the squad to do so. But you need some bigs. Bigs are very important. Bigs nowadays, these bigs are shooting threes and they're defending and they're defending. So you have to have some type of rim protection. I just don't understand. That's the way basketball's always been. I'm from the old school, so um, I know the three. Like I said, I know the 3 point is like that. That's just in their DNA now because it's
Yep.
exciting and that's what they want to do. But strategy, if you're up by 10 and I'm trying to keep the lead, I'm going in and I'm going to try to get that and one. That's another way you can get a
That's
three.
facts.
And so keep shooting threes and threes and you missing. Well, if that's not working after 2 or 3 times, let's go in. Let's go in. You up by 5. Let's get that back to 7 or 8. Just by going in, let's see if we can get some fouls on them. Get them in some foul trouble.
Yep.
They and then when they were in foul trouble, they never went at them, and that's what kind of made me discouraged because they never went at them.
Yeah, I hear you. Because
Hmm.
man, do you have any questions for me, Ma, or Miss
Nah,
Corley? I keep coming.
no.
I have a lot for you, Ma. I mean, Miss Corley. I keep calling you Ma.
I know. I've been with the Lakers for a long time, ever since back when well, probably further than that. I just love basketball. Period. I watch everybody, but I'm a really Laker fan since I'm a native out of California.
Yeah, facts.
Um, but I really just, you know, I've been watching them for years. Their DNA is it's always been a big and a guard and then the role players. That's always been their DNA. But DNA is changing. Trying to get a little, used to all these small balls and 3 pointers but like I said, I mean, two's just as good, and one is just as good. So we just to me, when you're up a lead and you got leads, learn how to if the threes are not falling, then you need to drive a little bit more. Don't keep taking threes like 3 or 4 or 5 times and then they come back. That just doesn't make any sense to me.
I hear you.
Hmm.
All right. You know, I don't know about. I don't know if LeBron gonna come back next year. So I have a feeling he might hit Dallas. But and I had a little problem with Luca, Ma. I mean, Mrs. Corley. I had to. I was keep like tripping because he was tripping all the time over his feet. I wanted to ask you what you thought about that, Mom.
About what now? He was tripping over what?
Luca was tripping a lot over his feet. Like he didn't get touched and he would just fall down. Like I didn't understand that. Like
Okay. So
I
with
don't want to say
Luca,
I don't want to say pink shoes was the problem, but he fell a lot in the
right.
series.
But well, the thing is too, everybody wants an edge, right?
Yeah,
So you have to think of it, okay, how can I get an edge? Luca he's not from here. They play their way of playing like where he's from is much different than here. And so flopping used to be a thing for the NBA. They're trying to crack down on it, even though they still allow it.
yeah.
But everybody, I don't care. The players can tell you whatever they want. They all do it because it's an edge. And if you can get an edge, that's the whole thing. The whole thing is to get a foul, to get the edge, to get the advantage. They all are still doing the same thing. I don't care if they say, "Oh, we don't do it." Yeah, your coaches are still training these folks to do it because
Yeah.
it's an edge for them. If you're down 2 points and I can get an edge and I'm playing defense, if I just fall back and if you just touch me like you put your elbow to me, maybe I'll get a call, and that's what they're looking for. Falling down and
Yeah.
all that, any edge they can get. This is just the way that they got the game now. The game is set up to get an edge. And if you can get an edge by falling, slipping, or feel like you've been tripped or whatever the situation, that's just how it's going to be. In basketball, unless the NBA decides to clean it up, that's on them. You know, that's on the refs. They've been flopping has been here for years.
Mm.
So, I ain't just Lakers do all them teams do it. And it ain't just one or two, it's all of them. Some of these players been in the league for a long time. They know how the way that some of these refs call because they see these refs sometimes a lot. So they know how they call the game. But that's something that the NBA has to clean up. That's more of an NBA ref, whatever rules. They say they cleaned it up, but I don't see it. You know what I mean? And to me, it looks like they're getting back the way it used to be with Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. They throwing people in stands and stuff and hitting chairs and chairs are falling down and
For
so
sure.
yeah,
For sure.
so it looks like they're allowing a lot more than they used to. So, I mean, it makes the game interesting. I just don't want to see anybody get hurt. But if they cause their own demise, that's different. If you're gonna flop, well, take the consequences. But I think Luca is gonna. You got to give Luca a break. He's only played what? He's only played. Yeah, I don't even think he's played 100 games with us. I believe he's only played like maybe 40, maybe what we had 30 games left. So maybe out of them 30, he might have played 30 games. Out of the with the
Yeah, you did
playoffs.
have 30 games. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, he's in a situation where he has to. He is. I'm Laker Nation, and I know how my Laker Nation is. We want people to instantly be winners. That's just how it is. Lakers, they take it to another level.
That's how we take it.
We'll never lose, even though we lose. Just like, for instance, if I flip it over to the Dallas side, they ain't won nothing since 1990 or whatever in the 90s. But in their mind, they're not losers. And that's the way the Lakers are. We're just not losers. We'll learn from it and then we'll move. We'll get better. It's going to get better because Luka's going to give us at least 10 more years and we can build around that. We just got to get him some good interior and we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Okay.
Hmm.
So I think next year we should get a big man for sure. At least a big forward. And
Right.
then
Well, we need a five. We truly need we need a true five. And once we get a true five that can do the things that Luca's looking for, because Luca will get him the ball. But there's just certain things that Luca wants that them to do. And once we get that, we'll be like I said, we'll be fine. The Lakers, they have the potential to be a great team or a contender next year if they keep
okay.
focusing on getting better with better players, quality players, and we don't have to lose the cow to get it like we did with Westbrook. Oh, that was awful. But we have to look. We have to do things sensible and fit the skill sets of what is needed, not because his name is such and such and such and such. If he doesn't fit, don't get him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's got to fit within your core of what the coach's vision is. If it's JJ's vision, it needs to fit into the core of what he's discussing with LeBron and AR and Luca. It has to fit within the core of what they need. Because I really believe too, Vanderbilt wasn't played enough. I think he should have
Okay.
been played more
Yeah,
because his
that's my
defense,
question. That's my
yeah,
question to you, Mom.
yeah, his
Is that
defense,
what you thought about the role players as well?
right.
Um,
Well, I think Van. um, Vanderbilt would have been. He should have been played more on um, either
Anthony
either
Edward.
Ant Man or what's his name, uh, because he has the length and the body to do so. And I think we miss
Yep.
opportunity. When you're going down to the wire, you put your best out there. You put your best defense out there. That means you have to keep switching them out for offense. In your offensive guys in and put your defense. That's what you do. But you don't sit up there and just pray that someone's going to play good defense. You already got Luca, LeBron, and AR out there. Go ahead and put your better wing defenders out there so they can cover up where we're missing. And they didn't do
Fact.
that enough.
Uh,
Finney even played good. So I mean, I'm just, that's where I'm
what,
at.
you, what you think about the Cowboy Kobe Bryant AR, man?
Who?
The country boy Kobe Bryant AR uh, Austin Reeves. What you thought about his performance?
It could have been better. I think his shooting was not great. Um, I think I don't think I just would. I don't think JJ played him the. I felt not the right way. Um, he let Luca and LeBron do most of the heavy lifting, which I think it should have been the other way around. I think he probably should have handled the ball a little bit more, from Luca a little bit, just so we can offset it a little bit. Let the other team be off kilt. Let AR maybe make the decision, but then again, he
Yep.
did turn over the ball a little bit. But the duty should have been at least more so because they were targeting Luca. They were doubling him down, so AR should have became the point and made those decisions because Luca, if Luke, they could have gave Luca off the ball. But since
That's fact.
but that was just me because if they knew who to target it, which was Luca. So if that's the
Yeah, they
case, then that changes everything. Then that means you have to change everything. That means AR or LeBron would have to be in the point and then
yeah,
play off of Luca would have to play off. He rebounds very well. So let him let him get it in that way. You know? So that's what
yeah.
I would have done.
I wanted to know your thoughts about LeBron James not really trying to take over the games in the fourth quarter, ma. Mrs. Corley.
I think he was tired. I think he played too many minutes and he just didn't have the gas.
You
I
think he was
mean, you
playing?
have to keep your players fresh. And I just think JJ, when he played them last couple of games and he played them the full third and fourth quarter, I think that was a mistake.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I understand you play more minutes, but he's 40 years old. Let's not play Lakers. Let's not play Lakers. He's 40 years old. You want his best in the fourth quarter. That last 8 minutes. The third quarter, Luca can handle it. AR can handle it. Let him rest as far as you can take him because he can do it in the fourth quarter. He needed that last 9, 8 minutes to refresh, and then he could go to work. But because you played him so long, he ran out of gas. He's 40 years old. What y'all
Yeah,
expect?
yeah, yeah.
His age shows, but you can play it. You can play him in the way that would benefit you. Play him the first half, let him play a little bit. Second half, don't play him as much. Then you get your halftime. Play him some in the third, but really give him, you know, let him go crazy like at the 8 to 7 minute mark, and he good to go. Well, that's just how I would play him. But I wouldn't play Luca like that either, because he's still not 100%. But that's just me. Oh,
Yeah. What's up, Mr. Gumbo? How you doing, man? Salute to you, man. This is Mrs. Corley. We talking about the Laker game, man. He said salute. He said salute, CW, my brother.
yeah, I see it. He says
That's my
salute.
guy.
Says salute, CW, my brother. That's
But
good.
yeah, um, what I wanted to talk about. Uh, what would you uh, what would you say about Bronny James, ma? Uh,
Who?
Bronny James, LeBron's son, next year. What you want him to improve on?
Okay, so my thoughts on LeBron James' son. He's a good player. He has some room to grow. He is young. He's only 19 or 20. Uh, Once he develops what he needs to develop, he could become a great player like his dad. But it's going to take time. He's going to have to develop it. That's just how it is. I don't, you know, I think he could have. I'm a big athlete. I'm real big on some players staying at least 2 years in college, just so they can, some of them to get that feet, get their you know get their skills in. You know, some players do, like um, Connect. He was in school for 5 years, and look, he looked good to me. You know, I liked him because he wasn't afraid. He let that ball go and he scored. And he's going to be a good. Now he's ready. If he gets on a team or if we keep him, I see him being one of, not, a good star like AR eventually. But Bronny has a little bit time to go. He had situations that that kind of detour the way he was going. You know what I mean? With the situation he had. But I'm not saying that he'll never get there. He might. Right now, I just think he got to get his skills up, and he has to work on them just a little bit longer. And that's what the D League does. It's supposed to help him, improve his way that he plays. But I think he's a good kid. I think he'll do
Yeah,
well, and his name will be there. As long as he's building to get better, it'll be great. And I mean, we just have to wait and see. Like, you can't count this year. People got to be realistic. The dude is only 19 years old, and he had some issues before he came into the league. So we have to just be patient with it.
yes. Mr. Gumbo, I think I don't know if it's a question, but he did put this on here, ma. I mean,
Okay.
Mrs.
What's the question?
He says, "I don't like the Lakers. I'm a Spurs fan."
Okay, I understand that, but I'm not. So I'm going to talk about what I like. I have cousins that live in San
Yeah, we have
Antonio,
family down there.
and they are Spurs fans, and they will defend their Spurs fan at all costs. And I feel for y'all because y'all lost your center. So y'all really didn't have any, y'all couldn't compete this year. And I do apologize, but, that's all I can say on that. I would like to see, you guys in it, but of course, with the situation you guys were in, and then your coach, he had a heart attack, so that kind of stirs up, you know,
And he
how
retired, huh?
how things go. So, but we'll see you next year. You probably be in the playoffs next year for sure.
He laughed.
Oh, he laughing.
Yeah, look, he laughed.
Uh, well, I'm a competitor. I mean, I'm not against anybody's team. I like competitiveness. I played soccer for 30 years. And so anything can compete, I'm good with. I don't, dislike anybody's team. I like all 30 teams that are in the league. It's not a big deal. I'm just a Laker fan, and that's all I'm. That's where I'm at. I'm not.
We
Um,
basically rivals with the
right, and we are rivals, but we have next year. You always have next year.
yep, I always have next year.
Hmm.
I want to give Gumbo a wrench, but I have to figure out how to do it. So I'm still learning.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Gumbo, man, he's the man. Uh, yeah. I hear you. So let me see what I wanted to. I had something else I wanted to talk to you about, Mom. Um, yeah. I think. Do you think? Um, Comment. What's his name? Number 34 for the Bucks. He's a free agent next year. You think we have any chance if
The combo. I can't even say his name.
Akuma
Yeah,
Amakamo? You think he'll
yeah.
come to the
He's like a
Lakers if
gumbo pick with me,
LeBron
but
don't sign?
right. Well, I think. Well, I don't know because I can't think for him. I I know he wants to win again, and I just don't know if Milwaukee is where he wants to be. It's up to him. He
Okay.
might want to go to the competitive side. He might go to the West. He might want something a little bit more competitive to get where he needs to go. I don't really know. Um he's he's not easy to read. Like I can't tell what's going on. I don't really watch Milwaukee much. So with me not really being able to, like for instance, I know what LeBron's about because I watch it almost all, I watch almost all the games. So I kind of know what his personality is and which way he might
Uh-huh.
go. But I can't do that um
With
with
Cooper.
with him because Katimbo. I can't do it. I'm sorry, y'all. I know I'm messing up his name, but I just don't know what he's looking for, and I'm sure he'll let the owner and the coaches know if you don't do this, then I might think of going somewhere else, and
Yeah.
that's just life. I mean, if that's what he decides to do, then that's what he decides to do. But wherever he goes, he's gonna be a star. That's what he is. So whoever wants to pay, because they gonna pay. Um, they'll get good quality. I mean, he's good quality. He's not nothing that you're not gonna go wrong with. Wherever he goes.
Yeah. I
Hmm.
man. Mr. Gumbo. That man gonna say. He said, "Who's the Lakers playing?"
Nope.
we, we out.
We if you ain't been watching basketball, you should know we were out last week.
You
But
know he
it's all
being silly.
good. I mean, the Clippers lost last night too. It looks like California's going down. We got one more team today that might just make it, playing Houston today. But I don't care in the West who wins. I'm gonna go for the West, and because we need to have more rings than the East. That's all I know. That's
That
that's
is
I've always been a Western girl, so doesn't matter to me. We're out. I prefer the Lakers, but whoever comes out the West, I'm good for. So if OKC come out, which I think they're going to, I'm going for them.
all right.
Okay.
That sounds good, Mom. That sounds good. We got about maybe 10 more minutes, and then I'll let you
Okay.
wrap it up.
Okay.
I do appreciate your time, Mrs. Corley.
Hmm.
I like your insight. And we do have Gumbo in the chat, so he's the homie, man. He's cool, and
Okay.
he don't agree with us because we Laker fans, but he a Spur fan. But now he knows that our family, our family reunion is down there. So
Right.
we have a lot of family members
Yeah,
down
we
there.
we've done it where we wear our colors. Like we one year we did Lakers, and then San Antonio did their colors of San Antonio colors, and then of course we have people in Dallas, so they wore their Dallas Maverick colors. So it's competitive just among us as family. So it's okay. I mean, it's all in fun. This is all in fun, and people who take this seriously, I don't know why. It's just a sport. I mean, it's just competitive. But they get paid for what they do. I understand that, but we don't. We don't get their money. We should be enjoying what we see, more or less than everybody. I mean, of course, everybody wants to win, so that's a good thing. I pretty much. Oh, you're okay. He said they're out. My bad. But yeah, so I mean, it's all competitive. So, I don't take it to another level. Like I know some people like, da, 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 da. I'm not that way. I'm mad at them. I'm not mad at nobody else. Ant-Man and them Timberwolves deserve to win because they played to win. They played hard and they want to go to the next level. We didn't play our level. We didn't play our level at all. Just to be honest with you, we weren't even close to them. Or if we did have a lead, we didn't know how to keep it. So those are the
Yeah,
things
that's
that I'm sure
facts.
they're going to work on, you know. Because I'm not saying, we had our chances. We got the first game we shouldn't have got blown out of, but they were just giving them free three threes like the whole game. I thought I should go shoot a three and maybe they give me something. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
that's all I'm saying. But
Mrs. Corley, so you don't blame Shannon Sharp for that though?
no, I
He
don't
the one
believe
who
in
was
that
talking
stuff.
about in five, and he was talking about KFC, USC, BBBs, and CDDs, and everything else.
Well, he's a rhymer. Yeah, he's a trying to rhyme, but they're not the only ones.
No, what happened? Oh man,
Hello,
hello, what
I'm
happened,
here.
Mom?
My phone rang. I'm
Oh, okay.
here. I got to go pick up my granddaughter, y'all. So I got to
Oh,
get
okay.
off
It's
here.
cool. We was 9 minutes to an hour. It was a good conversation. And
Okay.
I do want to thank everybody pulling up. Thank you, Mr. Gumbo. Hot grease. I'm gonna have to learn how to give you a wrench somehow. And and thank you, Ma. So yeah, she gone. So yeah.
Hello.
All right, Ma. I'm gonna let you. If you want to close, you can. Hello. What? Hold on. Hold on, Ma. Hold on, Ma.
Oh,
Mama.
yeah.
I didn't hear you. So go ahead and say you can close.
Oh, you want me to close?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, everybody. It was great talking. Great to have a discussion about the Lakers. We'll do it again next year. I'm also a Dodger fan, and anybody want to talk about the Dodgers or any baseball? I'm also a football fan. I like the Rams. I am open to any conversation you want to have. I'm good with finding the statistics. So just give me a holler through my son, and I'll be happy to come back on and speak with you. He said, yes, sir. All right. It was great talking to you guys. You guys have a great day.
All right. Bye, Mrs.
Bye.
Corley. Love you
Bye.
too.
Love you
Bye.
too. Bye.
Oh man, that conversation was pretty dope, man. Um, I will be coming back on 5 o'clock. About 5 o'clock, you guys. I'm gonna make a some thumbnails and go live. I'm gonna have an open panel, so it'll be we'll be talking about these fights this weekend: the Canelo, um, Ryan, Roland, all those guys. So I just want to hear you guys talk about it. So what y'all thoughts, and we'll go ahead and rock out about an hour and a half. So just give me about 2 hours, and I'll come right back. And thank you for pulling up, Gumbo, again. And we're gonna do it again soon. All right, peace. Oh, oh wait. Oh man. Find out.